exhibit, please. And this is one-page document, and there should be a copy for Mr. Rigby. Can you identify this document, sir?
It's a letter from Jacqueline Mann to somebody
Okay.
that's blocked out.
And what is this letter regarding?
It's letting people know, I assume somebody from the public asking about whistleblower reports to OAE
Okay.
for the last 3 or 4 years.
And how many whistleblower reports were there for the latest year there?
0 for 2022,
Okay, how about the year before that?
19.
19. Oh. And do you recall being notified by Matt Chason of any of those?
I can't
Check the
remember.
formal question. Brunswick also asked and answered.
I can't remember.
Okay. Here's what, and I'm sorry because I think I asked a poor question. It happens from time to time. Let me ask that a different way here. So what I'm saying is, after you've seen this document, you'll agree with me that there was, for that year, there was 19 reports made to Matt Chason, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now, does that refresh your recollection of whether or not Matt Chason reported to you any of those whistleblower complaints at that time?
Yes, I know he did not report on 19 of them.
Okay.
He could have reported, I assume he might have reported on a handful.
Okay. So it's fair to say, in the year that there was 19, can you repeat that again?
2021.
2021. Is that by school year, do you think?
Check the foundation.
I don't know.
Fair enough. Okay. So 2021, you say he didn't tell you 19. Does that mean that he did tell you some number?
I said to you that he might have mentioned a few, but I can't remember either the number or the topics of them.
Thanks. Okay. So it's fair to say, of the 19 whistleblower reports made to Matt Chason in 2021, you vaguely recall a few of them, correct?
Check the formal questions. Bartek also mischaracterized his testimony and answered.
There was 19 whistleblower reports. Now that I see it says executive sessions on whistleblower matters 3. So I don't know if that was specific or about whistleblowers.
Okay. Do you believe he discussed 3 with you?
Maybe, but it might have been, when it says whistleblower matters, it could have been a specific, it could have been a generic issue that came up around whistleblowers, or it could have been a report about a particular person.
Okay. And again, sitting here today, you have no knowledge, or recollection rather, of who he would have been talking about during those closed session meetings. Is that fair?
Yeah,
Okay. How about the year before that?
1402 it says, so it was 0 executive sessions on the matters.
Okay. Do you think that ratio there, 14 to 0, do you think that's an effective ratio for addressing whistleblower complaints?
Check the formal questions. Broad vague, but also calls for speculation. Go ahead and answer if you can.
I'm not in a position to make judgment on that.
Well, okay, and be fair to me, you're not in that position today, right? But you were at one time, right?
Same objections.
I can't recall.
Can you recall whether or not you were ever the president of the Milwaukee Board of School Directors?
Yes.
Okay. And sitting here today, do you believe that it's the job of the president of the Milwaukee Board of School Directors to have a knowledge of whether there is an opinion, rather, of whether the whistleblower policy is effective?
Check the formal questions. Broad vague. This calls for speculation. If he doesn't have an opinion, then he doesn't have an opinion.
Yeah, I don't have criticism of it. I just can't expound on it.
Okay, so again, and to be clear, with 4 years of school director experience, you're sitting here today unable to expound on whether you believe that these ratios for responding to whistleblower complaints is an effective way to deal with them. Is that fair?
Former President's broad and vague, mischaracterizes his testimony, calls for speculation, lacks foundation. Go ahead and answer again.
My reading of the 4 charts, the 4 lines is, doesn't have to do with what Matt Chason or what Jacqueline Mann ultimately did. It was reporting some numbers that were, I don't know if these are if one person reported more than one whistleblower report, does that mean, does it mean 19 different people or 19 different ones? I mean, 19 just complaints? I'm not sure.
Sure, and this isn't meant to be a gotcha question, but what did you teach in school? What area?
I taught 5th grade.
5th grade, everything, is that generic?
Yeah.
Just math, is that something in there?
Yeah.
And would you do division anytime?
Yes.
Okay, and you understand that we can divide any number by 0 and you're still gonna get one answer, right?
Go ahead. Yes.
Yes, okay. So for example, if we were to divide 19 by 0, that would be the same outcome as if we divided 14 by 0, right?
Yes.
And you know that based on your knowledge and experience as a teacher, is that right?
Based on a variety of things.
Okay. And you knew that when you were a school board member, didn't you?
Yes.
And you knew that when you were forming your opinion on whether or not this was an effective policy as part of your duties for being a school board president, didn't you?
Objection. First of all, it's argumentative. Broad and vague, calls for speculation, and he said he doesn't have an opinion. He didn't formulate an opinion. You're mischaracterizing his testimony. If he doesn't have an opinion, he doesn't have an opinion. Go ahead and answer if you can.
So, and I'm sorry, to be fair to you, maybe I misunderstood, and maybe your attorney's clarifying, but is it your testimony sitting here today that while you were school board president, you had no opinion on the efficiency of the whistleblower process?
The former President, broad and vague, also mischaracterizes his testimony, calls for speculation.
What I testified today doesn't mean I didn't have respect for their operation. We did not receive, the board did not receive a lot of the whistleblower reports. I have confidence in Matt Chason and how he handled it. He doesn't have to bring them all to us.
Okay. Now, what gives you confidence in Matt Chason?
His reporting, his attention to detail.
And that would have been, for example, his 0 reports in that 1 year?
I would prefer you not to insult me.
First of all, I think it mischaracterizes the document. There's 0 reports in 2022. Is that what you're talking about?
Sure, for example, we can stick with that year. So for example, in 2022, what did you base your opinion that Matt Chason was being trustworthy at that time?
The front question is argumentative. Go ahead and answer it if you can.
My relationship with him is if I had a question about something going on in MPS, procedural wise, he was a person who, oftentimes could give an answer. It wasn't necessarily around his whistleblowing responsibilities. I mean, if there's no reports, if nobody has reports, 0, then he has nothing to report.
Okay. Let's hold off on that. When you have, correct me if I'm wrong, but the way I'm reading that is in 1 year, he took in 19 people complained to Matt Chason. Is that fair?
Or there were 19 complaints.
I appreciate that. So I'll rephrase that. So we can say from that at least that there was 19 complaints. Okay, and that it's true that based on that document, and I'll accept with you that it could be one person complaining 19 times, correct?
Yep.
Okay. So, but we can also deduce that of those complaints, 19, Matt Chason brought 0 of them to the board, right?
No, it says 3.
Yeah.
3, okay. I'm sorry, I don't have the benefit of the document in front of me. We also have there's another year where I understand that there's 14,
And there was 0.
and there was 0. Okay.
And then there was 2 executive sessions on pending or probable litigation. And there was, so I brought those to the board, and then under the 19, it was 6 of them.
Okay. So, based on, were you aware of these numbers while you were the school board president?
No,
Okay. But you were aware of the issues that Matt Chason brought you, is that fair?
I'm going to check the front versus private bank. It's also been testified to repeatedly. Calls for speculation. Go ahead and answer if you can.
when he reported to us, I listened to him, yeah.
Okay. And isn't it true that every month Mr. Chason reports to the board?
Right, those reports are very brief.
Okay. And in that brevity, is he able to tell you anything about any whistleblowers?
I'm not certain if he gives it both a verbal and a written report. I think he does some in the written.
Great. I believe this is number 6. Bob, can I have the last exhibit back for? Thank you. And I'm going to ask you if you're able to identify this document, please.
Report to the Board of School Directors is from the Office of Accountability and Efficiency.
Okay. And is it fair that this is one of the reports that Matt Chason makes to your the school board on a monthly basis?
Right.
Okay. And are you given this document during the meeting or some other time?
It's available on,
Okay. Is it available to the public or just to the board?
I
Huh.
assume it's the public. I shouldn't assume that.
Okay. So I'm just going to point you to there's a headline or a note there that says accountability and efficiency services, and there's a paragraph under that. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And just reading briefly, it says between August 13th of 2022 and September 17th of 2022, accountability and efficiency services fulfilled 3 requests for information research, 5 constituent inquiries, and 1 special project. Do you see that?
No.
Okay. Do you know what a request for information/research is?
No.
Okay. Does the board make requests to the Office of Efficiency and Accountability from time to time?
Individual board members sometimes do, I believe.
Okay. Have you ever made a request for information or research to Matt Chason anytime as a board member?
I can't recall. I think of one, but I might have. I'm a person who would, I probably asked him to do some research, perhaps about a budget issue, whether or not, yeah, but I don't recall asking him specifically to inquire about an individual.
Okay, but so it's fair to say that a board member could go to Matt Chason and say, I've received a whistleblower report, I want you to investigate this, right?
Yeah, well, the board member wouldn't have received the whistleblower report. The board member might have received a complaint.
Sure, sorry, and if I said report, let's clarify. A board member could receive a whistleblower complaint and then ask Mr. Chason to investigate, fair?
I think any whistleblower report would not initially go to the board member. It would go to, it might be channeled to the Office of Accountability, the Office of Board, the board office, but then it would go directly to Matt Chason.
But you've already testified that Teresa Falleron came to you with her complaints about or concerns or complaints about MPSU directly, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying if it gets to, people share with me some complaints. That's not a whistleblower complaint until they officially file with the district. I don't consider, the whistleblower is a specific person who goes with a complaint to the district. If somebody calls me up and says that, I would say to the board member, and we should file a complaint, with MPS.
Did you tell that to Teresa Falleron?
I might have. I can't recall specifically. She might have, because by the time I've talked to her, she might have already filed a complaint.
Okay, but you don't recall.
No, but one way or another, I know that she had complaints.
Okay, is there anything in the whistleblower policy that would have prevented you from bringing Teresa Falleron's concerns about MPSU to Matt Chason?
Check the foundation also, calls for speculation. There was a whistleblower complaint to Mr. Peterson. Calls for speculation, go ahead and answer it if you can.
That's, if people have different, certainly people have different concerns about MPSU. I sat in on a couple of meetings of bilingual teachers. If anybody came up to me and said they had a problem, I said, file a complaint, talk to so-and-so.
Okay, my question to you was simply this, and I'll ask a broader one. Was there anything preventing you as a board member from taking Teresa Falleron's complaints or concerns about MPSU to Matt Chason and ask him to do research for information?
Check the foundation, it's prime vague, calls for speculation, and foundation, go ahead and answer it.
I think what I might have done was, once I've heard the complaints from her, checked in with with Matt Chason to make sure that, just double checking, did you receive this report, so that, to make sure that it was in the pipeline.
Okay, did you have any specific recollection of that happening or something else?
I don't have a specific recollection, but by general operating procedure, when people raised such things to me, was I encouraged them to go through the formal process so that it would be investigated and then ultimately come back to the board.
Great, when else did you do that?
I can't remember.
Okay, so it's a general practice, but you can't remember any specific instance of it, is that fair?
Well, there's, with 9,500 employees, a lot of people come with various levels of concerns or complaints. And it's true, I can't, those are things that I don't stick in my mind because they're quite generic.
But did I understand that that's because there's so many complaints that you can't identify a single one? Is that a fair understanding of what you just said?
Check the phone questions, argumentative, and mistakes his testimony, go ahead and answer it if you can.
What I said, I'll leave as the answer.
Okay, well, but I appreciate what you said. I didn't understand it. That's why I asked that follow-up question and said, was what I just asked to you, was that a fair understanding of what you said?
No objections.
I know that as I got concerns and complaints, I tried to direct individuals to people who might be able to solve such a complaint or concern.
Great. Now, I see here on this document in front of you, it says 5 constituent inquiries and 1 special project. You see 1 special project?
Yep.
Can you tell me where you're reading from?
Absolutely. So this is exhibit,
I know 6, but we're on exhibit 6. Are you reading from?
fair enough. Same paragraph we were at, and we're just following up on the sentence that we were reading from before.
5 constituents. Okay.
Do you have it now, Mr. Mayor?
I do.
Okay.
Thank you for pointing it to it.
No problem. Okay. So, I'm just identifying you to the last 4 words in the second line there. It says and 1 special project. Can you identify what a special project is for Office of Accountability and Efficiency as it was reported to you, for example?
Interject the foundation. Go ahead and answer if you can.
I don't know what this special project was about.
Do you know what a special project for the Office of Accountability and Efficiency is?
Same objection.
Well, it could have been a concern about, or a project about dealing with our attempt to increase minority hiring and minority contractors in the district.
Okay.
Those are special projects that the Office of Accountability and Efficiency supervised and worked on and reported out on,
How do you know that?
because that's what happened.
Okay. Was Mr. Chason directed to do that by the board or somebody else?
No, that's one of the standing responsibilities, I believe, of the OAE.
Is to do special projects.
Yeah, with the example I just gave you.
Okay. It's just help me understand the distinction between standing responsibilities and special project, if you can.
I have nothing more to say except they did. He oftentimes did those kind of projects that, like I just described. I think on a monthly basis they worked on those issues.
I appreciate that. Unnecessary.
Oops. Do you want the highlighted?
It's okay.
It's 2 pages.
It's 1 and 1. Thank you. Okay, and this is, if you're able to identify this document as a similar report to the school board of directors from Matt Chason, but this time from May of 2022?
Yes.
Okay. And then I'll point you to the same paragraph under the heading of Accountability and Efficiency Services there. The last sentence in there says, the services area also fulfilled 1 request for data analysis and closed 2 whistleblower reports. Do you see that there?
Yep.
Okay, that's pure Matt Chason, in my opinion. It says, and closed 2 whistleblower reports is one I want to point you to. Do you recall receiving that information at that time?
It was in the, he did not say that publicly. He generally says in my report is online, you can read it.
Okay, did you read it?
I believe I read this particular report. I was interested in the Harvard strategic data project.
Okay, did you, and I see that's right underneath there, it says Harvard Strategic Data Project, and this says closed 2 whistleblower reports. Did you follow up with Matt Chason at any time about what 2 whistleblower reports he closed?
Nope,
Why not?
because that's his responsibility and I have confidence in him.
Okay.